Hello, this is Epee Swords, and today we're going to be talking about these, small swords. In order to start in a sensible place, let's examine a rather typical example. This is a late 19th century courtsword, identified by the fact that it has a single-lobed clamshell guard. Earlier small swords would have more commonly had a two-lobed disc guard, or bilobate shell. This example, however, is fairly representative of the broader type. So we'll start here, as the rest of my examples are somewhat more unique. The smallsword is a thrusting weapon developed in lieu of the rapier, being smaller and more usable as a sidearm for gentlemanly and courtly wear. It's much more convenient, much more maneuverable, and has very good point control. However, it sacrifices all cutting ability, and that's due to this very distinctive hollow ground triangular blade, which has three sides, all of them having a scooped out appearance, including the flat. This provides massive stiffness and a very light sword. This one is just under 400 grams. One of the benefits of this single clamshell design is that the back of it is rounded, and, lacking the second side of the clamshell, does not wear against your uniform as you have the sword at your side. This is one of the significant problems which led to folding guards, which, while weakening the sword, do not wear out your uniform. Let me bring this example closer to the camera and we'll have a look at a few of its features. This example, from around 1890, has an all-cut steel hilt, with a helical design across the grip and the pommel. It is covered in rivets which have been faceted and polished to look like faux diamonds, as well as the scalloping you can see here along the edge of the clamshell. You can see the heads of the rivets here, where they have been driven into the steel. This design has a screw-on peen, and actually contains a fairly modern tang. It can be replaced by modern Leon Paul fencing swords, assuming you use the correct blade. That indicates that this was a very late manufacture, probably around 1890. The blade is frost-etched, and the motifs include vine work and other floral decorative motifs. You can see here the very nicely hollow ground blade with its even concave shape. The fingerings on this design are too small to be functional. However, by this point, many fencers preferred not to use them, as is also common today. Many of the fencers I speak to, at least, prefer not to use fingerings, even if they're available and large enough on a sword. The knuckle bow here, while permanently affixed to the pommel, is fairly thin and flimsy, as they are on most court swords and small swords. The difference between a courtsword and a smallsword is purely modern semantics, referring to either this curved clamshell or a flat, straight, bilobate disc. This has been the first day in a week of small swords, and this has been Epee Swords discussing an 1890s cut steel smallsword. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video on this colichemarde training smallsword. That's all for now. Stay sharp. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and commenting if you have any further questions.